Hey guys, what is up? It is Holly Golightly with a video. Clearly, I mean, it doesn't really take a genius to figure that out. Sorry, the lighting is like green. This is because my light is like in my face, blinding me, and I couldn't stand anymore, so I had to cover it up, but I couldn't find anything that was white, so it's kind of bluish tinged. Anyway, this is the video that I promised in my Agent Provocateur eau de Perfume review, how to take perfume reviews online and translate that into buying a fragrance that works for you. If you are somebody who's just a casual perfume wearer, or perhaps you just want to find a new signature scent, you don't wear perfume every day, you don't switch up your perfume very often, you may look at what is trending, what is popular, or what is similar to old favorites, and try to base your purchase off of online reviews, especially if the scents that you want, the scents you're interested, are not available for you to purchase or for you to smell before you purchase anywhere nearby. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Forgive me because I'm dying of thirst and I can't edit this. The way I swallow, I hate it. It's so loud. So I'm just going to take from my big pile of samples here. I'm just going to grab a few, talk about, oh, darn it, my phone is way over there, represented in reviews and how that translates into how it will smell on you and whether or not you're likely to like the fragrance that you choose. So without further ado, let's rummage around in this package of scents while I pull up the internet on my phone. All right, our first scent is Bulgari Omnia Crystalline, a very good one for this particular experiment. Then our second scent is another really good one. Gucci Flora by Gucci Gorgeous Gardenia. Okay, great choices, you. The reason I say that is that because both of these scents are well known, they're popular, but not so popular that everybody's had a sample of them at some point, and they're also fairly easily attainable, so they're not like niche or indie fragrances. So I'm going to start with Bulgari Omnia Crystalline. This is actually a fragrance that I own, so I'm going to start there. That way I can kind of create a review for you, the viewer. So the first thing I would do is go on to a fragrance website, fragrantica.com, basenotes.com, Bulgari Omnia Crystalline. Anywhere that A, lists the fragrance notes, and B, allows users to chime in. They often, at least Fragrantica, I don't use base notes as often, but Fragrantica also has scents that other scents that people who like this fragrance like that scent. And it also has links where you can purchase the scent. It has advertised links that you can purchase if you didn't already know or plan where you were going to buy from. So Bulgari Omnia Crystalline is available at Sephora, at Ulta. It's available on Amazon, at Macy's, FragranceNet.com, Nordstrom, the Bulgari website. And then even through third-party sellers like Walmart, which, by the way, may seem like you're getting a good deal, but you really don't. A lot of places mark them up to mark them down to look like you're getting a good deal. So if you don't know the actual price of the product before you start shopping around online, you may actually not be paying much less than sticker price. Most of these places won't charge you more than, but you could probably get a better deal by using a different site or different coupons. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to Fragrantica's Fragrantica's listing for this scent. And so there's a lot of helpful things for a person who's shopping for a new fragrance. This little tracker down here shows people who like the fragrance, love the fragrance, dislike it, what type of weather and seasons they find it best for, whether they find it best for day or night. And then it also shows here the scents that are listed in the description, the perfume house's description, versus what people actually claim they can smell. So Omnia Crystalline is inspired by the perfection of crystal. It is delicate and gentle like the touch of flower petals. This sparkling eau de toilette captures the essence of frosted flowers. The top notes bring airy bamboo and exotic Asian fruit nashi that has a very original and specific fresh aroma. Similar to both apple and pear. The heart is ruled by soft and feminine notes of lotus blossom, while the base brings elegant woodsy notes. The fragrance was created by Alberto Moraz in 2005. So, people who like Bulgari Omnia Crystalline also tend to like Chanel Chance Eau de Fraîche, looks like Acqua di Gio, the Acqua di Gio green one, the flanker, the green one, the Acqua di Gio, I'm sorry, the feminine version, the green flanker, Versace Bright Crystal, Narciso Rodriguez for her, Omnia Coral, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, Chloe, Eau de Perfume or Eau de Toilette, I'm not sure. Versace Crystal Noir. Looks like Coco Mademoiselle, Dior Pure Poison, Marc Jacobs Daisy, D&G No. 3 L'Imperatrice, Marc Jacobs Daisy Love, which is a newer fragrance. And then its price point across some different platforms is like $50 for a reseller price point of a 3.4 ounce eau de parfum or eau de toilette. And a $95 is probably the original price of the, what is it? Let me look at it. See what it comes up with. About $95 would make sense for this price for this particular brand. And the size 2.7, 3.7, somewhere in there, 2.5, I think, or 2. Because Bulgari has some of the weirder shaped bottles that have weirder sizes. This is the 2.2 ounce, $95. That's average. That would make sense. That's a sensible price point. So based on that review, without being able to smell the fragrance, if I were considering this, I would say on paper, there's a lot of things that I'm not loving right off the bat. One, it's an eau de toilette. Two, people agree that it's a very floral, very fresh scent, which is not my cup of tea. And three, I know that Bulgari fragrances in general have a very short lifetime on my skin. That last one may not be something that people would generally know if they hadn't had a Bulgari fragrance in the past, or may not be a problem for everybody. So that's where the user reviews really come in handy, seeing what people say about it, how they find the sillage. Let's not get pretentious here. The sillage, how they find longevity, what they compare it to. That can also be very, very helpful. And in the end, if I didn't have a physical sample, I would think to myself, now this is not a fragrance that I want to take a chance on. Pass. Let's go on to the next one. Gucci, Flora by Gucci, Gorgeous Gardenia. Let me Google it. Gorgeous Gardenia. Spelled it wrong. So this is listed on Sephora, price-wise from $78 to $107 for different sizes. Very helpful to know. It's also on fragrancenet.com. It's also on the Gucci website. So you have different purchasing options depending on how much you're able to spend. Keep in mind that as much as it feels like you're getting a relatively safe product, a lot of the third-party sellers are they're 100% upmarket. They're not selling counterfeit products. It's not eBay. These are products that they get from the retailers and from the brands to resell at a discounted price because they can no longer be sold at full price regardless of different factors, whether it's shelf life, maybe they have been a return, or they are a tester, that has been marked out of stock. These are all different reasons why these products are sold at a discount. So you can get a perfectly good fragrance for a discount. And there's nothing wrong with it except for its value to a top tier retailer, basically. So, Flora by Gucci, Gorgeous Gardenia Gucci Perfume, a fragrance for women, 2012. Immediately, this shows me a lot of people like this fragrance. That's good. It is more of a daytime fragrance, which both of these are. That's what we're looking for. Something for the spring and summer. That's good. Says, the prestigious Italian fashion house of Gucci launches a new edition of fragrances under the creative director of Frida Giannini. I'm not going to read all of this because it's just about the line. So we are talking about Gorgeous Gardenia, which is a floral bouquet of scents, underlining the feminine side of the fragrance, versus Gorgeous Mandarin, which has a more sparkling fruit. This doesn't give a lot of notes in the description, which is why that little chart here is helpful, because we have top notes of pear and pomegranate, middle notes of gardenia and frangipani, and base notes of patchouli. So immediately I know from seeing this, and then main notes according to your vote, people say they smell the pear, they smell the gardenia, and then the dry down, the patchouli is not too strong. Great. Immediately seeing that, I don't even have to go on for myself to know that I would like this. However, if you didn't know what scents you liked or about, what kind of longevity and that sort of thing, you could look again. People who like this also like Versace Crystalline, Chanel Chance, Versace Bright Crystal, I'm sorry, Juicy Couture, Viva La Juicy, the C, Giorgio Armani, C, Victor No Flower Bomb, a very diverse group of fragrances, actually. So that tells me that this is a pretty safe bet for most people. A lot of people commenting about the sillage being good, the longevity being good. It is a daytime fragrance. It's not light, or it's not heavy. People claiming they don't like white floral, but they actually just enjoy this perfume. So just from this alone, I could go in and say this is a pretty safe bet for me to purchase unscented, that I will like this fragrance. Now, if that is not enough for you to feel comfortable, which it wouldn't be for most people who weren't well versed in a lot of different fragrances, or how different fragrances wore on them, or how different notes wore on them, you would then go to a video review such as I produce, where I talk about different perfumes, what type of notes I like in perfume, my perfume collection, what I prefer, how it wears on me, and what type of experience I have with different scents. And that way you can see that people who like the same things that you like, or dislike the same things you dislike, have opinions that could match up with your experience. So if we're still talking about Gucci Gorgeous Gardenia, and you've come to me for a review, and I've decided that you want Gucci Gorgeous Gardenia, and so I'm reviewing this scent. And I talk about how, there's another Bulgari Omnia Crystalline. I talk about how Black Opium, which actually is a fragrance that I do like, and it's a very popular fragrance, and it's very easy to find a lot of people reviewing this fragrance. So I talk about Black Opium on my skin. I say it smells sweet. I don't get a lot of heavy floral, which with Flower Bomb is one of my main issues. There's just too much floral. But that Black Opium smells sweet, smells comfortable. It wears comfortably. It's long lasting. I can wear it day. I can wear it night. Blah, 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 blah. You go on. You look on my channel and you see that I have also reviewed Gucci Gorgeous Mandarin, or I'm sorry, this is Gorgeous Gardenia. And what I say about Gorgeous Gardenia, not Mandarin, is that it's floral, but it's not too floral. That one's a dabber, not a spray, so I'm letting it air out a bit. It's floral, but it's not too floral. It's not heavy. It's not nauseating. It doesn't give me a headache. It's not as sweet as some fragrances I prefer, but it's actually good for daytime and for spring and summer, when sometimes that sweetness can be a little much. My particular skin wears something like Black Opium, which is an eau de parfum. Yes, it wears an eau de parfum like Black Opium for a very long time. I have a body chemistry that produces a very good amount of longevity with fragrance. However, I don't have problems with the sillage being too strong. And with Gorgeous Gardenia, the floral is not overwhelming. Both have patchouli in the base, so there is a common factor. And all in all, that I can and do wear and enjoy both. So that gives you, as the consumer, something to base your purchase on. If you are not able to get a fragrance sample of the fragrance that you want, you really have to do a lot of research to make sure that you don't end up buying a perfume that you then have to return, especially if you have to order it, and especially if you're ordering it from somewhere that is not convenient for you to get back to. I'm lucky in that almost anywhere I order from, I can go into a store physically and either smell the perfume beforehand or return it if I need to. That being said, I almost never have to return fragrances because I almost always know beforehand, just based off of experience. I recently purchased 2 fragrances that I knew I wasn't going to like. One of them, I don't know what happened. I lost my mind and I purchased it. It was Versace Bright Crystal, which is marked as a fan favorite for both of these, both Gorgeous Gardenia and Omnia Crystal. And I'm actually going to spray Omnia Crystal on me because I don't remember what it smells like. It's been for ages. And I had to take it back because it smelled awful, but it was in this cute little travel purse size egg. And I was like, that's so cute. I really want that. And there was 4 Versace fragrances that came in that egg, and I chose Versace Bright Crystal. I don't know why I did that. That was stupid. That scent was not, it is horrible on me. It's terrible on me. But also, Versace fragrances in general do not work with my skin chemistry. They just don't. I don't know if it's how they have formulated them. I don't know if it's a particular ingredient compound they use, but they just don't. The other was YSL Parisienne, and Parisienne was released almost a decade ago, I think. And I remembered at the time trying it, wanting it, choosing not to buy it. That's a big red flag. If there has been a perfume that I have had interest in and it's been available for some time and I have had opportunities to buy it and have passed, that's a flag to myself, even if I don't remember how it smells, that there was probably something that I didn't like. It doesn't mean that I won't like it now, because our body chemistry changes and it does change how fragrances affect us or come off of us. But in this particular case, it smelled okay. It wasn't a stunner, and there was zero longevity. It vanished within 30 minutes. For me, that's really rare and is not something that I'm willing to spend money on. I'm just not. I'm not willing to spend money on a fragrance that is going to disappear. Even things like cologne and cologne water have a longer lasting lifespan on me than that. All of these things are being put together to create a bank of knowledge for you to go out and be able to blind buy basically a perfume and like it when it gets to you. One of the best ways to determine what type of fragrances will work on your body chemistry is to gather up these samples. And whether you like the fragrance or not, try it. See what you like. See what you don't like about it. Go back to the information available on the fragrance and determine what parts of that scent didn't work for you. Once you've done that, you'll be able to more easily recognize fragrances that contain those components versus those that don't in the future, and will be able to understand that this is something that you can safely purchase and know that it's not going to smell awful when it gets to you. Or that as much hype as this may have around it, like Flower Bomb for me, I just purchased a travel size of Flower Bomb Nectar. The reason is because they have a gunpowder accord in Flower Bomb Nectar that takes the scent of the floral, the heavy floral, down a huge notch. And it brings it back into something that's more like passionate and gourmand and easier for me to wear. And that's just me. A lot of people probably don't like that at all. They'll probably say it smells chemically, it smells weird, it has like a weird ozone like component. Like people sometimes don't like things like that, especially accords, because they are chemical. With that being said, this is all information just to help you be able to understand your own fragrance preferences so that you can, like I said, safely buy fragrance online that you've never smelled and know without a huge division of probability that it will or will not work for you. You won't have to waste your money on things that don't work. You won't have to waste your time on things that don't work. You'll be able to know that even if it doesn't like become your next signature scent, it'll be something you can keep in your fragrance collection and you will get use out of it. So with that said, our gorgeous gardenia shopper, who also prefers YSL Black Opium, can safely purchase this scent and know that they will be able to get along with it. It does affect the wearer, although it doesn't smell the same at all. They're both pleasant, equally likable. The Omnia Crystalline, probably not as safe a bet, which we already knew based off of our previous experiences, what it was saying about the notes and how it compared to similar fragrances. I hope that helps you if you are interested in shopping online for fragrance in the future. I will make another video going into more detail about buying at discounted perfume retailers. I'm not talking about Amazon. I'm not talking about eBay. I'm not talking about like random third-party sellers. I'm talking about discount websites like fragrancex.com, fragrancenet.com, perfume.com, even Walmart, and some like beauty third-party resellers that also sell fragrance, and why you can get such a good deal because of how they acquire the scents. So look for that. I also have a review of my Byredo fragrance coming up. I have a review of that Flower Bomb Nectar coming up. I have a review of the newest Hermes Jardin fragrance coming up. It is Jardin sur les Lagunes, I think is what it's called. I just picked that up, so that's going to be probably first, and then Byredo, and then Flower Bomb Nectar. So tune in, check back for those, and I hope to see you again on the flip side. Bye. Have fun.